For City Lights on Novus TV, I'm Alyssa Dawson. For one very special weekend each year, foodies unite here in Vancouver for an unparalleled event. Welcome to EAT Vancouver Food and Cooking Festival. Walk through the doors into the newly refurbished BC Place and you'll see tasting stations, demo stages, celebrity chefs even, and cooking classes. There are even exhibits where you can get your hands on some amazing food. And as an experienced festival goer myself, I know how important it is to bring that appetite. So today we're going to be talking to celebrity chefs and organizers at the event to find out what we can expect. You've been involved with this event for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Just give us a general overview.
For sure, yeah. So EAT Vancouver, this is our 10th year actually. We're very excited to be back in BC Place this year with a new roof. So EAT Vancouver is Canada's largest consumer food festival. So we have about 275 exhibitors here this year, everything from different international culinary kind of competitions, along with different countries that are representing their products, which we have here behind me. We also have celebrity chefs that have come to do cooking presentations, so like Rocco and Bob Blumer and Rob Feeney, of course. And then we also have restaurants, which are kind of in this back area over here, and they're doing sampling menus, so there is tons of food to taste is basically kind of the big thing.
There are a million things to see and do here at EAT Vancouver, but of course we're here for the main event. 3 amazing Canadian celebrity chefs battling it out in the heat of competition on stage. What did you think of our 3 amazing Canadian celebrity chefs?
Well, all very impressive performers. We know them as performers as well as chefs.
They definitely had the crowd going.
Yes, they know how to entertain a crowd, and they also know how to make beautiful meals. It was interesting to see they all had their own style and their own way of approaching it, all very competitive. You know, chefs are some of the most competitive people around. Had a great time with them on stage, and every dish was spectacular. It was really hard to pick a winner.
And what made David's dish really stand out for you?
Well, they were, like I said, they were all delicious dishes, but David really used the kale, so I had to give it to him. Bob, basically added kale at the very end as a garnish. As good as it wasn't really using the dish. And I thought Rob's was so beautiful, but he kind of missed the picnic theme. So I had to go. I had to give it to David Rocco.
I have to start off. You just won the Throwdown. How does it feel?
If I lost, it would have been the same. It was fun. I competed against, I know it's going to sound cliche, 2 great chefs, and, I got lucky.
Throwing out some chef love out there. I know you guys are competitive, though.
Let me speak the truth. These guys are a bunch of hacks, so, no, it was a lot of fun.
So what inspired you to make that dish today?
I don't know. Literally, I had a bunch of pantry essentials that I like to cook with, obviously pasta, but prior to the Throwdown, I wasn't told that, or I didn't know that it was for a picnic. But I figured I'm not going to change course. I'm going to continue doing my pasta, and it was one of my favorite dishes. I think you always got to cook what you love. So I just said, I'm going to cook what I love, and I'm going to use the kale in a creative way and fun way.
This must be something like being on Chopped, I imagine.
When you're doing these black box competitions and you just, you don't know what you're getting until the last second and you've got a short period of time and it's all real pressure, then yeah, that's very much like the real deal on Chopped or Iron Chef or whatever.
And what about that tricky little secret ingredient, the kale?
Note to self, if you're ever competing in a black box competition, don't forget to use the secret ingredient. It was a picnic lunch, so I created an ant out of medjool dates, and that was what I was doing during the countdown. I totally forgot to use the secret ingredient.
I know all the shows you've done, it hasn't really been the typical kind of cooking show. It's always involved something crazy that, people just never really imagined these things taking place around the world. So how did you find yourself in that?
Well, I've created or had a hand in creating all the shows that I've been involved in, and I just like doing things that are a little bit different. and so I gravitate towards them. So if I hear a conventional idea, I'm not really that interested in it. And when I hear of something that's pretty wacky or think of something that's pretty wacky, I'm usually all over it.
It's an event like this. Do you find this just kind of passé, blah, because it's not really eccentric?
No, you know, I'm all about the eccentric and the surreal and fun presentations, but if you scrape below the surface, I'm all about really serious ingredients and really interesting ingredients. And this hall is full of passionate purveyors and people who have, you know, either created interesting products or are selling interesting products or are using them in a different way. And I'm all about that. I love walking around the floor here and just talking to people and seeing what they've got to offer.
With food stations galore and celebrity chefs, I highly doubt anyone is leaving bored or hungry. But if you couldn't check out this year's event, you always can check out the local restaurants featured here to get your fill. I hope you enjoyed our coverage of this year's Eat Vancouver Food and Cooking Festival. For City Lights on Novus TV, I'm Alyssa Dawson.